Formula One is filled with famous names, but few have had quite the same impact on the sport as Colin Chapman and Lotus. Winning the Constructors' Championship a total of 7 times, Lotus cars were always at the head of the field, and their constant innovation paved the way for the modern Formula One era. Team Lotus has always been a family affair, and today the team is run by Colin's son, Clive. I was lucky enough to get a sit down with Clive and talk to him briefly about what it's like to run a classic Formula One and road car race team and the challenges that are faced when trying to maintain a 40, 50, 60-year-old racing car.
Classic Team Lotus was to look after the works collection of cars. We needed to set up a workshop, and it was decided if we're going to do that, let's offer our services to other owners. And that was 22, 23 years ago. Very happy coincidence and dumb luck that since I started Classic, historic motorsport has grown and grown and grown in a really good way. The quality of the events is fantastic. They're very well organised. The safety record is excellent. 25 events this year, all around the world. FIA Championship winner goes to get the trophy with them. Will it be Rosberg or Hamilton? It's that high profile, and yet the spirit amongst the teams and amongst the customers and drivers is excellent. We're looking after about 20 customer cars this season. Run them across 25 events, so it's a busy schedule. Some of the cars we restore them and they go back into collections, but most of them we would then run and maintain for the customers as they take part in historic motorsport. Nearly all of the cars are driven by the owners, and that's pretty much the case throughout historic. Maybe now it's starting to become more common, I guess, as a lot of the owners become older and the events become more prestigious. More owners are now starting to put kind of hotshot drivers in, which is a difficult thing for historic motorsport to cope with that change. It's been quite gradual to date, but it is becoming a bit of an issue. But certainly nearly all of the cars we run are being raced by the owners. You know, the people really are the key. Most of the people at Classic Team Lotus have been here for some years, and either they've been with the team originally or they've learnt from original team members, so that's absolutely number one. Well, from the team manager, Chris Dinage, down, it's that experience of the cars is, you know, invaluable. And as ever, when things go wrong is when the test really starts. And with Chris's experience, and Bob Dance has been with the team since 1960, you know, it's those moments, those pressure moments that really make the difference. And we're better able to cope with that than others, I think. In terms of restoring the car, preparing the car, maintaining it, taking it to races, engineering it at the events, testing, yeah, we do everything. We have all of the original archive, so in terms of restoring cars, we have the design drawings, and we can restore it to exactly how it was in period. We have reference often to cars in the collection, which is another plus. So getting it right. Reliability is vital, and safety, of course. Reliability and safety really comes about preparation and making sure the cars don't leave here until they're ready, and having adequate personnel at the meetings to look after them. We specialise in restoring cars to as they were. So if you've got Jim Clark's Type 25, then personally I think you really ought to drive it like it was when Jimmy drove it. Now, admittedly, we are now running with rollover bars and seat belts, which we weren't in period. But I think you know, that's what our customers want to do with their cars as a rule. We're running shorter distance races, so we're not often on full tanks, which is a big plus. Condition testing is vital, you know, and regular. In terms of the engines, maybe some of them have got a little bit more power than they had in period. Tyres might have a bit more grip. The circuits are certainly a lot smoother and safer. So the reliability record that we achieve is pretty impressive. They're flat out, yeah. They're not just driving around waving at the crowd, matching the times that were done in period. Sometimes they're actually going quicker than in period. Not so much the F1 cars. Some of the sports cars, they've got a bit carried away with the engine spec. But it is comparable to what was being done in period, and that makes it a big challenge, big responsibility for the mechanics. It's exciting. We look after F1 cars, F2, F3, Formula Junior, Indy cars, sports racing cars, road cars, or road racing cars. So if it's a Lotus, even if it's not a Lotus, we have a strapline. If it's not a Lotus, it's a copy of a Lotus, so we can look after it. We're doing, from my family's collection, the original Type 12, the very first single-seater, the prototype never ran, was at the 1956 Earls Court Motor Show with a dummy engine and dummy gearbox. It's been sitting in the piggery at home since then. In terms of customer cars, we've got a Formula Junior to do over the winter, we've got a Formula 1 car to do over the winter, we've got quite a major repair on a Formula 1 car to do over the winter. Problem is, our winter now is getting really quite short. We just finished in Mexico last weekend. We've only got 3 months of winter and then we're off again. In terms of it being a historic car, generally that means it's a winner, which is great, because we go to these meetings and my children go to the meetings and see their granddad's cars winning the races, which is fantastic. Generally they're well recognised and appreciated by fans around the world. You take a black and gold F1 car to Monza and they love it. And often it represents a significant innovation during a period of F1 development. More often than not, Team Lotus led the way in design. It costs I don't know, £50–60 a mile. It's on average, I guess, something like that. Genuinely every year there's been something which we haven't necessarily expected, and it's been like, wow, that's fantastic. And it's been a number of Jim Clark cars and Ronnie Peterson cars and Andretti and Fittipaldi and Senna and running Ayrton's Estoril winning car, against the odds. And it's every year there's something special. Periodically we have groups of enthusiasts coming around, and the racing car show in January, we'll have a number of cars there. We've got something really special lined up for that. We may be at the Excel show in February, and then it's Goodwood, Monaco, Mexico. I think we're going to Fuji next year. It's all around the world, and 8-race championship, FIA championship in Europe. There's plenty of opportunity. I really would recommend it. Silverstone Classic's a great event now. Go on our website, it has all the dates on there. We have a website, we have a shop, and if you come to an event, come say hello, express appreciation to the mechanics. It really is a team sport, and as I said earlier, the most important thing is the guys working on the cars, and the more they feel that what they're doing is appreciated outside the company, that's important.
I hope you've enjoyed this brief look behind the doors of Classic Team Lotus. I'll be in constant contact with the team over the coming year, and I'm going to provide you with updates on the cars that they're working on, the restoration projects, and of course the race results. They've had a really successful year this year, and hopefully 2017 is going to be no different. So if you want to see anything in particular, let us know and I'll see if I can feature it soon. Thanks for watching, bye bye.